For the last 3.7 billion years, we've understood one fundamental rule of life on Earth. Oxygen requires light. Photosynthesis. Sunlight hits a leaf, a blade of grass, a microscopic cell floating in the ocean, and oxygen is released. This is how you're breathing right now. This is the contract between the sun and life itself. But in July 2024, scientists published a paper that breaks this contract. At 4,000 meters below the Pacific Ocean, in a place where sunlight has not reached for millions of years, something is producing oxygen. Not plants, not bacteria, rocks. Welcome to the Clarion-Clipperton Zone, and this is dark oxygen.
The Clarion-Clipperton Zone sits in the abyssal plain between 4,000 and 6,000 meters deep. For decades, it's been known for one thing: polymetallic nodules. These nodules are geological batteries. Over millions of years, dissolved metals in seawater precipitate out and accrete around a nucleus, a shark tooth, a shell fragment. Layer by layer, they grow at a rate of about 1 centimeter every million years. The green energy industry wants them. Electric vehicle batteries require cobalt and nickel, and there are estimated 21 billion tons of these nodules just sitting on the seafloor, unguarded. But in 2024, scientists went down there to study what mining would destroy. The team deployed sensor chambers on the sea floor, sealed boxes that monitor oxygen levels, standard procedure. The expectation: oxygen should decrease, animals breathe, bacteria consume. In the pitch dark 4,000 meters from the sun, oxygen should only go down. But the sensors showed oxygen increasing, not by a little, by a lot, repeatable, undeniable. At first, they thought the instruments were broken. They ran the experiment again. Same result. For over a decade, these sensors had been showing this anomaly, and the team had been dismissing it because it was impossible. Until they tested the nodules themselves. When they brought the rocks back to the surface and placed them in seawater, they measured a voltage, up to 0.95 volts per nodule. When clustered together, the voltage is additive, like batteries in a series. The mechanism is simple. The nodules are made of different metals with different electron affinities. Manganese oxide and iron oxide in contact, soaked in conductive seawater, create a natural electrochemical cell, a literal battery. And when that voltage is high enough, it can split seawater, electrolysis. The paper published in Nature Geoscience called it dark oxygen production. Oxygen made without light, without life, by rocks. This isn't just a curiosity, it's a lifeline. The Abyssal Zone covers 54% of the planet's surface, and life exists down there. Slow, alien, efficient, but that life needs oxygen. We always assumed the deep ocean got its oxygen from the surface. Currents mix the water. Oxygen diffuses downward over decades. It's a trickle. But the dark oxygen hypothesis suggests something radical. The deep ocean might be producing its own oxygen. Locally, on site, the abyssal plains might be self-sustaining. If this is true, then these nodules aren't just rocks, they're infrastructure. They're the power grid of the deep. And we're about to rip them out of the ground. Here's the nightmare scenario. To build the batteries that power electric vehicles to fight climate change on land, we might have to destroy the batteries that power life in the ocean. The mining process is catastrophic. A giant crawler vacuums up the nodules, leaving behind a barren plain and a sediment plume that spreads for kilometers.
That sediment buries animals, clogs gills, blocks filter feeders. The recovery time is estimated in centuries. But now the cost might be even higher. If we remove the nodules, we don't just destroy habitat. We might turn off the oxygen supply. We might suffocate an entire biome, an ecosystem the size of a continent. The International Seabed Authority is expected to finalize the mining code in 2025. Once that's approved, mining can begin. 17 countries have already secured exploration licenses. The race has started. But as of December 2024, a coalition of nations is calling for a moratorium.
They're citing the dark oxygen discovery. They're saying, we don't understand what we're about to destroy. The question is no longer, can we mine the deep sea? It's, should we? For 3.7 billion years, oxygen came from the light. Now we know it can come from the dark, from rock, from electricity, from a process we didn't know existed until 6 months ago. We've spent centuries taking the surface of the ocean for granted, overfishing, polluting, warming it. Now we're about to do the same to the part we've never even seen. The abyss kept this secret for millions of years. It took us until 2024 to notice. The question is, what else don't we know? If you want to see what else we're discovering in the places humanity has never looked, subscribe. The abyss is deeper than you think.